All right, sorry about that, folks. What's going on, ladies and DeGents? Welcome back to the Distinguished DeGents podcast, your one in many homes for degenerate gambling. I'm one of your co-hosts. I am Steve, Big Bucks of Beta. Joining me as always for this Week 4 NFL predictions and handicaps episode, it is the one and only Jason Money Mansman. Money Mansman, we have a very unique Week 4 coming up. We had a very dare I say, unique Thursday night football match. Kind of the vibe I'm getting for the whole week, but what's your overall thoughts going into this week's episode?
Well, it's we better enjoy it. This will probably be our last super long episode because the bye weeks are coming. Boy, that Thursday night game was not much to say about it. I lost out on a good bet I would have hit by a point and a yard. So that was
Jesus. Good. Okay, let's get into this then. Let's go ahead and just jump into the recap. It's the Thursday night football. Dallas 20, New York Giants 15, under 45 and a hit, 5.5 points was the hit. Plus 5.5 for the Giants was also on the spread. Dak Prescott went 22 for 27, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns. Daniel Jones, now 1-13 in prime time, 29 for 40, 281 passing yards, though, 1 pick. Just kind of like reading that stat line alone tells you everything you needed to know about this game. Dak Prescott didn't screw up, got enough points really to get the win. Daniel Jones kind of overperforms in a weird perspective, if that makes any sense, but overperforms expectations, but still wasn't enough. That's kind of the vibe I got. Although I will say Dallas to shank the late field goal to miss the spread was definitely a heartbreaker for you 5.5 point bettors.
Yeah.
Thank fuck I got it at 4.5. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, that was that was a curious one there. No, that really feels like a game that the Giants should have won. They just couldn't get it in the end zone. I mean, a couple of bad calls early. I mean, the whole game was just shit. The penalties were terrible. The Giants, Daniel Jones isn't the guy. Like, they look good. He looked good, but 5 field goals. It's not going to do it. It's not going to get it done.
Yeah, another field goal.
Good either, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, another field goal performance for the Giants. I mean, then again, they're on the opposite side. Like, imagine week 2, you lose because the other guy only could kick 7 field goals and not win. Then the 1 week where all you can do is kick field goals, you still get 5. Can't fucking hold Dak Prescott at his worst. I mean, there's a lot to... Yeah, I think you're right, man. Daniel Jones, just not the guy. Can't get the job done. Can't beat the Dallas Cowboys. What hopes do you have to win the division? What hopes do you have to really succeed? Brian Daboll wanted to know if he had his quarterback. I mean, we already said preseason, no, you don't. But, God, if this isn't the game that proves that, even with Daniel Jones at his best, I don't know what does.
I know. I think this proves it more than the bad games because you see Daniel Jones at his peak, not good enough. And the Giants couldn't run the ball at all against a defense that struggled against it was just a really weird game. These teams normally go over. The game goes it was just an ugly, weird, trappy game.
This was an ugly divisional Thursday night football game. Emphasis on Thursday night. These are the kind of Thursday night football games we've been expecting, and finally, once one came around, it was when we least expected it. 2 notes about that game I want to get your thoughts on before we really get into the handicaps. Number 1, we had a previous commenter, I want to say Price35, Price38, whatever, from the last episode. He brought up a question about flags in the NFL, whether it's more or less ruining the game. Does it make it unwatchable? Here's a stat for you. Only 4 flags for the Giants, 11 for the Dallas Cowboys, 15 flags total in the game.
Well, are those accepted penalties? Because there were more than that.
Yeah, it seemed like every third play there was a flag thrown on the field. Whether it actually counted or not was another story. DraftKings, if you follow their Instagram page, literally made a post like, for every 25 likes, we're just going to keep throwing flags on the field. And at one point, they had a post that said, like, Giants field goal kicker points 15, flags in the game 15. I mean, this is the ugly, boring football that we disdain and hate. Yet the Stripes, just time and time again, don't seem to care. They seem like some of them are just so flag happy.
Yeah, this crew, they should all be suspended. They call a face mask on Cody Bellinger when he was getting his helmet torn off, and then they pick up the holding flag for the first Dallas touchdown. And I don't know, it was just the whole game. I mean, they were just throwing flag after flag, and it was just a mess. It was a mess of a game.
Yeah, that crew definitely should not be on a primetime game again for a long time. They need to be removed.
Yeah, I think they're going to be relegated to Jags, Jags Cardinals later in the year.
How about Raiders Browns this week? Could they be relegated to that? Like,
yeah, you can make the case. Raiders Browns with no Max Crosby. That's going to be a hell of a game.
Oh boy! Oh, and by the way,
see where my handicap's going in that one.
Yeah, Cowboys versus Giants averaged 16.22 million viewers to set an NFL regular season streaming record.
See, I mean,
and it was this shit game.
But it doesn't matter. That's the thing with the NFL. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I wish there was a way to protest like the flags. I really do, because it's just like, we're suckers. We keep buying into it.
Do not do a video this week. We won't watch any games, and
except the problem is we're literally going to have to go watch a game live and in person. That's right, folks. We are going to be at the Sunday Night Football game, Buffalo at Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium. I will not be donning any goddamn purple. I will not be in a blackout crowd. I will be supporting Mansman's Bills in this venture.
Yeah, were they really going blackout for this?
They are going black. They are. It's confirmed. They're black. They're doing the blackout.
Oh my god! Bills by 60. Fucking blackout, like they're real fucking fans.
Oh boy. All right. Yeah. So I mean, any other thoughts on the 16 million?
Let's move on to greener pastures. Let's get into this week.
Yeah,
4.
that's right. Yeah, real quick, I mean, since we're really chugging along, we'll just give a quick shout out to our buddy Vitrell Kirkland, a.k.a. Mr. Commissioner. Not this week?
I'm not giving him a shout out this week.
Oh, are you facing him this week in fantasy?
No, I'm facing him in real life. It's called Ravens Bills week.
Anyways, for you fantasy football ventures out there, if you're checking out our podcast, make sure you also check out the Dyna Pros Fantasy Podcast. He gives out your start and sits for every Sunday game for the week. Check it out wherever you get your streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever. Yeah, other than that, he usually gives out 30, 40-minute clips. He gives out all your start sits, gives out his fantasy advice. He's been a commissioner in the league for over 12 years. This guy has definitely been around the block. He's done regular season. We're in a current 5th year in our Dynasty League right now. Been through it all. He knows all the formats. This is your go-to podcast. Make sure you check him out wherever you get your streaming services. All right, moving on. Here we go. We have a 15-game week 4 lineup, and there's going to be a lot of interesting games here. So just to give you a quick preview, we have 2 non-conference games, 2 AFC teams going to NFC opponents, 1, 2, 3, 4 divisional matchups, and we have another 3 primetime slate for week 4, 2 Monday Night Football games and the Sunday night. However, instead of, I think, 10 1 o'clock games, looks like we're only down to 8.
Yeah, because they have those 2 on Monday night, which makes no sense.
I couldn't tell you either. All right, Monty Mansman, are we ready to kick this shit off?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, kicking it off, we got The Cincinnati Bengals as a non-conference road favorite, traveling as a 4.5-point favorite, minus 215 on the money line, going to the Carolina Panthers. And Jesus Christ, does Andy Dalton have the funniest thing that he could do ever as a 4.5-point plus 180 home underdog with the Carolina Panthers. Over-under is set 47.5 points on the money, or on the over-under. And with that said, money management, I think I started the Thursday night football, so I'm going to have you start this one off. What's your pick here for the Bengals Panthers?
Oh, this is so hard because this traditionally is the perfect spot for the Bengals bounce back. They're 0-3. They're on the road against a team that literally just won their Super Bowl. They finally got off the snide. They won a game with a new quarterback. So everything tells me I should play the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm not going to do that, though. I'm going to go Carolina plus 4.5. I can't put money. I cannot put money on this Cincinnati Bengals team as a favorite. Their defense is atrocious. They're coming off a Monday night game where they lost. Like, Andy Dalton revenge spot. There's just too much going against the Bengals. The Bengals don't feel right to me. They're going and tanking, and I'm not putting money on the Cincinnati Bengals this week. I'm going with Carolina.
Yeah, I as well am going with Carolina in this spot. It's the Andy Dalton revenge tour, and this is a peculiar game now all of a sudden. And the Panthers used to be the mindset, and when I say used to, I literally mean a week ago. They used to be that they were the best way to lose money. And now all of a sudden, 3 weeks into this season, it's looking like it's actually the Bengals that's the best way to lose money, albeit they've been on the side of a lot of unlucky calls this year. And, I think those two things are true. The Bengals have failed to cover 4 of their last 5 as favorites. They've lost 3 of their last 4 outright as road favorites. They've lost 5 straight with Joe Burrow as their starting quarterback now all of a sudden. And looking at these teams' histories, Bengals are 1-3 in Carolina all time. The Bengals have not covered as favorites of more than 3 since December of 2022, where they were 4-point favorites against Cleveland. You know my mantra when it comes to gambling. 1 time is a coincidence, 2nd time is chance. 3rd time, I hate to say this, you fail to cover 3 times, you're on auto fade. The Bengals are on auto fade, folks. This is time to fade the Bengals as a non-conference road favorite. The Bengals defense really is honestly what I'm fading at this point. And with that said, this is my over of the week, which is a lot of points, over 47.5. But the Panthers defense too has actually been really, really, really horrible and dreadful. They've allowed over 31 points per game on average to opponents this year. And as we saw last week, even with the bullshit against the commies, they fucking can score points and they can drive on offense essentially damn near at will. On defense, they're just so bad and dreadful. They let Jaden Daniels look like a goddamn professional quarterback. And the Bengals couldn't stop. The defense on the Bengals could not stop a baseball from falling off of a tee if they were standing right next to it. They're that bad. I mean, Andy Dalton probably is going to light it up. But I would honestly start looking at Joe Burrow props, too, if you're a prop better, because I think he's going to have a decreased value on those lines, and it's going to go up. All right, Christ, fine. We're finally going to get to you. I know you've been waiting. So, first off, he wants to know, money management, is LaDainian Tomlinson the best running back ever? I refuse to give any Charger any credit as the best of anything, so my answer is no, but goddamn if he wasn't good.
He was good, but come on. Just stupid take. And honestly, Chris could go bye-bye. Like, find another show, buddy. Stupid take from a stupid commenter. See ya, pal.
Jesus
Seriously.
Christ. Oh,
Like,
man.
no offense, like we're doing our thing, like, you want to be a troll, that's fine. Goodbye. See ya.
I appreciate the trolls every now and
Stupid
then.
take. Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, like, come on. LaDainian Tomlinson. Clown. Goodbye.
I mean, he's Hall of Famer, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
No
He's good,
Super Bowl.
but
No Super Bowls. No AFC Championship wins. No, I can't.
Yeah.
No.
Chris, if you don't like the show, my man, you could go. It's a beautiful thing, the internet. Could start your own show. It could be Chris's Hot Takes. Is LaDainian Tomlinson the best running back ever? Is Patrick Mahomes the best quarterback ever? You could start your own show, buddy. So there we go. We're moving on. I'm done with
All
Chris.
right. No, I agree. We'll move on.
Chris has left my life for good now. So goodbye, Chris. It was nice to see you.
All right.
But
all right, Mansman, give us your over-under take on the Bengals Panthers before we move on.
I see this as an over because the Bengals defense is shit. So I have to go over. I think Andy Dalton's going to get his. I don't think Carolina is going to continue the same performance that they had last week. So, yeah, I'm going over in this game.
Fair enough. All right, next up, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. My Denver Broncos are now a 7.5-point road underdog, plus 320 on the money line, traveling to MetLife Stadium to go the New Jersey Jetropolitans, a.k.a. the Jets, a.k.a. Nathaniel Hackett's Hackums, whatever the fuck I want to make fun of them. Somehow they're not only a 7.5-point favorite, they're minus 405 on the money line. $405 to get $100 back on this Jets team. Over under 39.5. You know what, Mansman? They're gonna make me do it. This line is just so disrespectful. This is my fade of the week. Back-to-back top 5 best picks. Fade of the week. I am fading the shit out of the Jets. And I'll be honest with you. Like, I will be very honest. This is a very much a shot in the dark handicap. As a Broncos fan, I'm just playing the number here. This number is way too high. The Broncos all year have covered a touchdown. The Broncos defense, for what it's worth, has actually been semi-respectable. Bo Nix, admittedly, and the offense, very inconsistent. The Jets' rush defense has also been very inconsistent, and this could be the one week where the Broncos' rush offense finally gets it going. This Jets team does not seem like a team that's in sync. It doesn't seem like a team that they're all kumbaya, let's get along, let's fucking win a Super Bowl for New York. No, Aaron Rodgers was literally fighting Robert Saleh on the sidelines after getting a touchdown in primetime. Now, admittedly, the Jets are getting extra rest. They have the Thursday Night Football recovery where they did beat a lowly Patriots team. Whoop fucking de-do. And let's look at the week before. They are 2-1. Let's look. Oh, they beat the fucking Titans. I'm not fucking impressed. Like, this no offense on the fucking Patriots, and you win one Thursday Night Football game. Now you lay 7.5. And the Broncos too. They're coming off a huge win on the road against Tampa Bay. You're in a back-to-back road spot, but the smart thing was that they went to West Virginia immediately. They didn't fucking travel back to Denver. They didn't come back. You know, they're in West Virginia, so they're staying on the East Coast. I kind of like that move. The numbers historically do not support me, though. Broncos 4-8 ATS after a win.
I can't with this guy.
Broncos have struggled against the Jets. Better in Jersey, though. They're 4-2 straight up in MetLife. I don't know if it was MetLife, but go back to 2000. They're 4-2 straight up. Broncos struggle against the AFC East, 1-4 straight up in ATS in 2022. Yeah, it's a numbers play. I don't know if I play Broncos money line. But yeah, it's Broncos plus 7.5 for me.
Well, we're going to disagree, and I think you have one person who's going to agree with your side. Look, Bo Nix had a good game last week against a very injured Tampa Bay defense. The Jets defense, we know how good they are. They're very good against rookie quarterbacks. I hate to do it. You know me, I hate the Jets. This is a Jets play all the way just because I think the rookie is really going to struggle here. I think the defense could keep it close, so it's not like it's not my most super confident play, but I can't go with Denver here. Rookie quarterback on the road against a team coming off extra rest. I just think this is a really tough spot for the rookie quarterback. So I got to go with the Jets here. Aaron Rodgers has been there, done that. I think Denver had a very good win on the road last week. Back-to-back road spots. Tough game for Denver here. I think the Jets get it done, and it wouldn't surprise me if they won by 2 scores here.
I disagree. This is gonna, if anything, I just don't believe in Robert Saleh. I don't believe in Nathaniel Hackett, quite frankly. I really don't. And the problem is like the idea that Bo Nix is an upgrade from Russell Wilson. We're gonna have that debate going on for another 2 years, but Sean Payton started this guy for a reason. They let go of Russell Wilson for a reason. If last week is any indication, I think this game's going to be close. I haven't seen anything from Aaron Rodgers. I haven't seen anything from Garrett Wilson. I haven't really seen anything from the running back core in the fucking Jets, truth be told, that makes me think, oh yeah, let's lay over a touchdown. You know, I know we made that mistake last week with the fucking Patriots, but that was us overhyping the Patriots. Maybe this is us overhyping. Maybe this is me overhyping my Broncos, but all year they've kept a game under a touchdown or at a touchdown, and this is the number you give me. Yeah, I think it makes sense you take them plus 7.5.
I mean, it makes sense. I get why you're doing what you're doing, and I was close to being there too. Honestly, it's just. I don't know. The more I looked at this game, the more I think the Denver Broncos defense is really going to have some trouble with Aaron Rodgers. And I think, I don't know, man. I just see the Jets offense doing enough, and I see the Jets defense clamping down.
Fair enough. All right. What's your over-under take? 39.5.
I would have to go under because I'm wondering if Denver could score in this game.
See, I got over because I believe they will. And Aaron Rodgers is the best game manager the Jets have had since, Mark Sanchez. You want to dig it?
No, I mean, it's a troll. I know nothing.
Fair enough.
I know the guy's a troll. Like, I know that at least. I may not be good at gambling. I'll admit that. I know a troll when I see one, buddy.
That is fair.
So keep going, man. It's all
good. Man, we got this. All right.
Division still listening. I don't know why. Like,
maybe he's here for the advice and for the hot takes. We'll see. All right. Next up, New Orleans Saints. Catching 3 on the road, catching 3 points as a road underdog. Plus 128.
Guy on the right. I got to be on the right now. That's like my new name, guy on the right. That's right.
Maybe.
Guy on the right.
We'll put that as your new caption, guy on the right. All right, here we go. New Orleans plus 3, plus 128 on the money line. Falcons minus 3, home favorites, minus 152 for Kirk Cousins and the gang. Over-under is set 41.5. This is the first divisional matchup of the week. Damn, they fucking FanDuel. They get rid of the stat lines like right as the episode starts. But New Orleans was catching 60% of the money. Mansman, it is your go, a.k.a. guy on the right.
Yeah, guy on the right, guy who knows nothing. I think I plan on betting New Orleans for this game, so you should probably bet the Falcons. But no, in all seriousness, I think this to me feels like a very big overreaction. Both teams are dealing with injury. We know that these Falcons Saints games tend to go close. I expect the Saints defense to come to play. And look, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think Kirk Cousins is due for a letdown. So, when it comes to what I expect to happen in this game, I expect a low scoring game. I expect a lot of running, two teams with injuries to their offensive line. The Falcons lost two guys at the end of the game against Kansas City. I'm really expecting a low scoring game for this one, even though the Saints offense started off the year pretty well. I'm expecting it to be a close game. And if you're going to give me 3 points with a team that, I mean, let's be honest, they smoked their first two opponents. They lost to the Eagles last week in a game where they didn't look good. But I still think division road dog, 3-point underdogs now. I'm going with the Saints in this game. I'm not backing the Falcons.
Interesting. We're going heads up again. Okay, I'll tell you what. I was going to have 3 best bets in a row, but I'm talking myself out of this. I'm not going to do this. This is not going to be one of my best bets. Here's my problem with this, and I liked it when this line was at -1.5 with the Falcons. My thinking was that this was a game on a neutral site. Hypothetically speaking, let's say these two teams are playing in fucking Detroit, which is also a dome, because we have 2 dome teams here. Is Atlanta then a 2.5, 3-point favorite anyways? And now we're actually getting the 3. So for me, at 3, doesn't really make much of a difference from when this line had opened to begin with. In historical trends, it makes you lean New Orleans 9-3 straight up since 2018, but that was with Drew Brees. 5-1 straight up, 4-2 ATS in Atlanta during that span. New Orleans is a road dog, 3-1 ATS since last year. This past Wednesday with the Cowboys and Giants, division teams on the road are 1-7 ATS. Now 2 and again, this is a debate. Depends on where you got the number. But let's just say now, for the sake of when we handicapped it, division teams are now 1-8 ATS on the road this year. Kind of makes you lean towards Atlanta. And then I remember personally that, you say you want to fade Kirk Cousins. This is the spot I actually want to take Kirk Cousins. This is 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins, not primetime Kirk Cousins. And this is the fucking New Orleans Saints. Remember last year when Derek Carr threw for 300 yards and a pick and lost to Desmond fucking Ritter in this spot? And I think as we're now seeing so far late, and I mean when I say late, 4 weeks, beating the Carolina Panthers and the Dallas Cowboys really might not be as impressive as it looks when you fail to do shit against Philly's defense at home. And this Falcons team, on the other hand, they've just gone through a gauntlet with the Steelers defense, the Eagles team in general on primetime, and the Kansas City Chiefs also in primetime with the fucking stripes to bail them out. So, as far as overall coaching and teams, the Saints are a step down in competition for me. So,
yeah, that's I don't know. To me, the Falcons are still a 1-2 team. They got very lucky to beat the Eagles at the end there. I don't know. I'm not as high on the Falcons as a lot of other people. I think there's a lot of people who are high on the Falcons, but I don't know. We're gonna have some disagreements this week. Like, yeah, we've been completely out of sync. I mean, I don't know. The Saints, to me, it's just a pure numbers play. I just think they've been the better team through 3 weeks, and I don't think that they're a point worse than the Falcons. I actually think the Saints are about an even team, so I think I'm getting value here.
Can't fault the logic. What's your over-under pick? 41.5 points in this game. I got the over 41.5. I think Kirk Cousins is going to be able to show out more in this type of matchup. Although the Saints defense, I mean, they had the good performance against Carolina. They did shut down Dallas. And I know there's an issue with Alvin Kamara being injured this week. By the way, in terms of running back, I mean, you had a guy that scored 6 touchdowns on Christmas. Like, been looking fucking hot this year, too. So, if Alvin Kamara starts, I see this going over.
Yeah, like I said, I think I favor the under here because there's a bunch of injuries for both teams, especially on the offensive line. So I think it's going to be a lot of running the ball, a lot of keeping the game moving, keeping the clock moving. So I see this as an under game.
Damn, we really are going. We're going heads up already, and we're only 3 games in. So
yeah,
it's gonna make interesting. We're gonna be interesting for contest plays this week. Which by the way, Money Management, make sure you put out the contest plays for the money line picks and the spread picks.
That will be on the Twitter once the show is over.
Yes, sir. All right, moving on. We got the Minnesota Vikings catching 2.5 points as of right now. This line has jumped all over the place. It's open at 1.5. I want to say in favor of the Vikings. It's now plus 2.5 for the Vikings, plus 126 on the money line. Over under is 43.5. Traveling to their divisional rival, the Green Bay Packers, where Jordan Love is a game time decision to start. Minus 2.5 for the Pack, minus 148. And okay, so again, I couldn't make this a best bet. I had to talk myself out of it. If you have been looking for an opportunity to fade Malik Willis and this Packers team, I think now's the time. Which is strange because I think a lot of sharps have been on the angle of fading Minnesota and looking for a spot to do that. This is just on the cusp of, number one, you have an Aaron Jones revenge spot. And I love the Vikings here, although, like, the numbers, again, they don't support me. The Vikings have just been looking really, really, really good as a team overall. They've been getting wins. They've been covering. And you're still giving me points on the spread. You're still making them a dog, despite the fact they're winning and covering without question. Seems a little bit weird to me as a book. So, like, is this a trap game? I'm not sure. But, like I said, with the numbers, Vikings have 4 straight losses to divisional opponents, 4 straight failed covers in those 4. They're 1-4 straight up in ATS as underdogs in their last 5. But they're 2-1-2 ATS as last 5 road underdogs. The whispers of Jordan Love's return, that makes it worse for me. I do not want to lay points with a Jordan Love rushing back from a serious knee injury at that. Where I have to lay 3 points on him on that fast return. I don't. When I have a Sam Darnold who I know is overdue for a bad spot, and don't get me wrong, this could be the spot like the Sharps have been saying. +3, +2.5. I'm going to take my chances once again. I'm going to take the points with this Minnesota Vikings team because I think not only is this going to be a lot closer, but I just think the Vikings are being undervalued as it is. So, again, shot in the dark. The Packers, like, looking at their last 2 weeks with Malik Willis, they got a Colts team that I think is very dependent on whether Anthony Richardson could throw the ball and be good, which your opinion of that is that he can't and he's not good. And then they had a very bad Titans offense, which, you look at this Brian Flores-led defense, they lead the league in sacks, they lead the league in passes defended, they're tied for second in interceptions and takeaways. I mean, this is a massive step up for this Packers team. I don't know if they got it. So, road underdog, very risky this week considering the trends, but I think this is the one.
Well, it kind of goes against my Saints handicap. Crazy enough. No. Here's what I'll say about this game. In the contest, it's 2.5. At 2.5, I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. Okay? I think it's time to fade. And specifically what concerns me, Sam Darnold with that knee contusion, if he's not 100%, we saw what the Packers did with Malik Willis at quarterback. I think even if Malik Willis plays, they have a chance. But I just think this Packers team is a lot better than I thought they were. So I'm going to go with the Packers here if it's under 3. At 3+, like I could see this being a close game. I could see the Packers edging out like a 3-point win. I don't think I could do it above 3, but under 3, I think I'm going to go with the Packers here because I think it's time to fade the Vikings. They've been very good. Jordan Addison's actually supposed to come back, which is interesting, but Sam Darnold's knee contusion scares me, and they're a Sam Darnold big hit away from being in a whole lot of trouble.
Maybe. I mean, that's
going to be moving.
What do you think of the... All right, so tell you what. 2 proposals for you. Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones are both set at 58.5 rushing yards this week. Haven't seen that in a long time, where the running back has the same amount of prop rushing yards. I really believe this is an Aaron Jones game. I would bet over on this. So this is one of my player props bets of the week. Aaron Jones over 58.5 rushing yards, especially too because of that knee contusion that you just mentioned.
Yeah, they might have to run the ball.
Yeah, but I honestly think Aaron Jones revenge spot. Give me Aaron Jones touchdown plus 130.
I like it. He's been talking about the fact that he wanted to do the U.S. Bank vault, and now he's going to do a Lambeau leap. This guy's kind of crazy. We'll see. I don't know. The Packers defense, I feel like they're going to do pretty well in this game. I think if Minnesota wins, it's going to have to be a grinded out, low-scoring game. I don't know if they're going to go up and down the field against the Packers.
I think they do. I think, besides Jair Alexander, I don't know who the Packers really have on defense. I don't know who they've really gone up against that was actually, like, legitimate competition as far as, like, the offense. You know, you had Anthony Richardson who struggles if he can't throw the ball deep or if he can't hand it off to Jonathan Taylor. And then you had Will Levis. You know, every fucking week he's a fucking meme for how much he fucking sucks at quarterback. Like, I'm just, like I said, I'm not sold on the Packers yet. The Vikings, they've done enough to show me that when they're getting plus points, they're worth play. So that's my play. That's my pick. I have under 43.5 though, and again, it kind of like, it's correlated, but like, I just think the Packers are going to struggle here. And Sam Darnold, for as good as he has been, the Vikings don't have to do a lot. They don't have to do everything. Like, I don't see this being a very high scoring game. I see a lot of defense in this one. I see a lot of Brian Flores shining in this matchup, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, this one is a revenge spot from last December. They are 2.5-point favorites on the road, traveling to the Indianapolis Colts, who are catching 2.5 plus 114 as a home dog. Steelers minus 134. Over under is set 40.5 points. Money Mansman, is this a Pittsburgh Steelers revenge spot where they are going to get the victory from December, or is this a Colts bounce back spot?
Jeez, we talked about it last week too. Colts now 7 straight losses as underdogs, so they're still not good as underdogs. I was tempted to make this my best bet, but I'm not going to do so. I'm just going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers here. Again, Anthony Richardson's terrible. This Steelers defense is great. I don't think TJ Watt, he's still playing, right? He's not out or anything.
No, he's starting. He is starting.
Yeah.
However, I need to warn you, I gave that same handicap last December and they lost.
Anthony Richardson's no good. He struggled against the Bears. I just think it's another game where sometimes you take it to its most simple common denominator. Anthony Richardson struggled against the Bears defense. They got a ton of breaks last week because Caleb Williams sucks. All Justin Fields needs to do is keep doing what he's doing. They're going to run the ball. The Colts have not proven that they're able to stop the run in any meaningful fashion. They were able to stop the Bears, who can't run at all. I think the Steelers are going to be able to run. Colts are going to continue to struggle stopping the run. And I think ultimately it's going to be another Steelers ball control, dominant defensive game. I really, if Anthony Richardson struggled against the Bears, I don't see him doing much better against the Steelers here this week.
All right. Well, you said the magic words. I actually didn't have a best bet until now. Best bet -2.5 Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep, there we go.
There we go. I'm declaring it. This is a re-roll from December because I don't think the handicap has changed, and I don't think the Colts have gotten better. Look, is TJ Watt starting? Yeah, you probably bet the Steelers. Do you bet the number 2 ranked rush defense Pittsburgh Steelers, the 3-0, led by Mike Tomlin, Pittsburgh Steelers? Or are you going to take this Colts team, who had a Gardner Minshew who was better at throwing the football, but now they have Anthony Richardson, who barely passes at all, if ever, and when he does, he's probably throwing it to the other team. And the problem is, if Jonathan Taylor gets stuffed, what is this offense going to do? That's my problem here. I saw what happened against Chicago, and that was a game that, like, Chicago probably should have won. I think if Justin Fields was the starter of the Chicago Bears in that game, the Bears win. Mitch Trubisky, I think if he's starting for the Bears last week, he wins that game. But Caleb Williams doesn't win that game. But the Colts, they really struggled. They struggled at home against the Chicago team. Pittsburgh's defense is going to be a lot harder. And the Steelers are 4-1 ATS as road favorites for a reason. But also for a reason, this is going to be a big bucks double best bet. This is my under of the week as well.
Oh, shit.
Under 40.5 points. Steelers in the last 5 as road favorites, 5-0 on the under. Against AFC South opponents in their last 6, they're 4-2 on the under. And this is really just a tale of two teams who, let's be honest, Pittsburgh doesn't score a lot to begin with, but they don't need to. Their defense is probably going to shut down this Colts team. I don't see the Colts getting past 17. I don't see the Steelers really getting past a 24. Like, this is a dead under game.
This is just one of those weird, this feels like another game where the line is just wacky. Like, I think you have a team in the Steelers who are markedly better than the Colts, and yet they're only laying 2. Like, it's a couple weird lines this week.
Very, very, very weird lines, but
I like your idea with the under because, yeah, I definitely could see it being another Steelers smash mouth game. I mean, I think the Colts' only chance is to throw the ball deep, but my guess is Tomlin's going to keep him from doing that, and Richardson hasn't shown the ability to be patient and drive downfield. He's pretty much a home run or bust type quarterback, and I think he's going to go bust more than he goes home run this week.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And honestly, if you want to get cute, by the way, like FanDuel, they're offering some really ridiculous line movement here. I wouldn't alt spread this too much, but you can get the Pittsburgh Steelers to win and under 47.5 points at plus 120. I mean, I think that in and of itself is worth a unit play, but I would alt spread carefully. But you're getting an extra touchdown and plus the Steelers to win, which is my best bet.
There you go. Oh, by the way, just real quick before you go to the next game, you may be wondering where our friend from earlier went. Unfortunately, he has disappeared. One of the great things about being our show is that we get to choose what we talk about, viewers or not. And even better, if you're a troll, I have the ability to make you disappear. So our friend Chris has unfortunately disappeared.
I love it. I was wondering where our friend went. I was wondering why he got so quiet.
No events, bud, and then we can move on. We're not a monetized channel. We're not doing this for money. We're perfectly fine. Like literally, we're going to talk about the games either way. We put a video up, great. We don't, either way. Some internet troll doesn't get to dictate to me, before week 4 football that we're going to talk about LaDainian fucking Tomlinson. And then it's like, oh, I'm waiting. Well, you're going to be waiting indefinitely now because you are out of here. So bye-bye.
Yeah.
Jerk on the right. See ya.
Yeah, it was very, and I'll just say this as the other side. It's very weird that you're trying to sidetrack us with random comments. Great in theory, don't get me wrong. And this is me being nice. Finding a random football channel, trying to talk about football things, I get it. But like, know your audience, know your show.
Well, again, the recap video, it's fine. You want to bring up your random stuff, fine. But then
we're all about that.
When it's like, I'm your one viewer and you're talking about stuff. When are you going to get to me? Never. Bye-bye. So,
yeah,
anyway.
Okay. Anyways.
To address it any longer, our friend is gone, never to be seen again. If he reappears, I'm going to make him disappear again. So, we're all good and we could move on with our lives.
That sounds fine with me, buddy. All right. Next up, let me get the lines back moving. All right, here we go. The Los Angeles Rams are catching 3 on the road, plus 134, traveling to Soldier Field, Chicago Bears, and Caleb Williams, rookie quarterback, a minus 158 home favorite. Over is 40.5. Is it my turn or is it your turn? I think it's yours.
Is it my turn? Oh, boy, what do I want to do?
No, you know what? I think...
Oh, you got something here?
Yeah, I got something here.
Got something here?
Yeah,
I might have it too. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you know what? I think I have to call it. This is my dog of the week. My dogs are unfortunately upstairs, so I can't have them bark on command. This is the dog of the week. Listen, I know the Los Angeles Rams are coming off their Super Bowl win against the Niners.
Been terrible as underdogs, which is what's holding me back.
Oh my God, yeah. Let's not talk about that. You know what? Let me get to the point. Why can anyone besides Christ tell me why the fuck Caleb Williams is laying points in the National Football League? Why is Caleb Williams a fucking favorite against anyone that isn't Bryce Young, Josh Dobbs, Miami without Tua, or the Titans?
I mean, the Rams' defense has been really bad.
This is a Chewbacca game. I don't care. This to me is this is a Chewbacca game. I don't care. No, I don't care. Did the books in Vegas, did they forget that Matt Stafford has played the Bears a fuck ton of times in Soldier Field? Or did they is all of a sudden, can they see in the future? Can they look? Can they see Caleb Williams throwing the ball in under 2 seconds after the hike? Is the O-line going to remember they have a job and they actually I don't know, block the defender in front of them? I don't care what the numbers say. I don't care what happened in the past. I don't care what numbers or trends or this isn't this may not be a sharp handicap, but what on film, what have you seen of Caleb Williams that makes you think I should take money out of my betting account and lay it, not just lay it, lay 3 points on the Chicago Bears? When they can't utilize the run, they have to go up against Matt Stafford, veteran quarterback, a very good veteran quarterback at that. The Rams, can they get defensive line pressure? Absolutely. Look what happened in San Francisco. I don't get it. This is just it may be a Barney Bester, but I don't care. There's no way I'm laying points with Caleb Williams. I'm not doing it. I can't. This is dog of the week. This is Rams all the way.
Yeah, it's tough because the contest, we only have 2.5, so I guess I'll keep it from from being my dog of the week. I am a little concerned about the Rams defense, but yeah, There is no planet in which I want to lay points with Caleb Williams. I mean, are the Rams worse than Indianapolis? And I thought the Bears as a dog, I mean, they couldn't even do it as a dog against Indianapolis. The fact that the Rams are +3, like, if they're getting a field goal in this game, that's the only way to look for me is the Rams.
Sorry to interrupt, but think about this. The Colts were terrible last week. They weren't good. They didn't blow them out of the water. It was a close game the whole time. And Caleb Williams just couldn't fucking throw the ball, couldn't get out of the pocket really, and when he did, couldn't find the open run. He was trying to make Patrick Mahomes style plays rather than just make the obvious move. Like, this guy is not NFL ready yet. I don't know. Like, I'm not an NFL scout. I'm not a college scout or anything, but it's like I've seen enough film on Caleb Williams. The guy's not that good. He's very overrated. Jaden Daniels, like, honest to God, I thought Jaden Daniels should have went number 1 overall. And I don't know if he's being held back by a Commanders team. We're gonna get to him later, but like, Caleb Williams is just loser mentality personified. Just his mannerisms, the way he acts, the way he tries to lead, loser mentality. And I've seen enough of those guys around, not just the NFL, but in life. Like, the guy is just a loser. The guy really doesn't know what to do to lead men. He doesn't know how to lead an NFL team yet. I'm not saying he can't down the line, but, there's a lot of maturity levels I have concerns with. And Matt Stafford is mature NFL quarterback, literally personified. That's all I got. Like, that, and to be honest, I'll back the Rams as a dog in this spot 100 out of 100 times. Don't care what happens, but
yeah.
All right, and
I can't support Caleb Williams. This is both teams beset by injuries. God, I just have a feeling this is where the Rams maybe start to build something. I would go. Boy, the total's pretty. Bears are a dead under team. I'd probably have to look under here, even though I do have a feeling the Rams could. I feel like the Rams could cook something here, but Caleb Williams is not very good.
No, he's not. Caleb Williams can't get points on the board. That's the problem.
Can't throw, yeah.
Caleb Williams can't throw, and the Rams, again, this is a game where the Rams don't have to do everything. They just have to do enough. And I think this is a bounce back spot more for the Rams defense than anything. I mean, just take 6 guys, put them on the line, pressure Caleb Williams, see what he can do. That's really all I got. All right, second to last 1 o'clock game. Or is it the last one? No, it is not. My lines are all messed up. Excuse me, folks. All right, Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're traveling to Tampa. -1.5 road favorites for Philly. They're -118 on the money line. Damn near a pick 'em. Bucks are +100 on the money line, even money. Over-under is 42.5 points. And I wanted to say that the Eagles were getting 65% of the bets on the spread in this one. Money Mansman, this time it definitely is your turn.
It's funny because I feel like I'm going against all the trends. Like, the Eagles covering as road favorites. They've lost 5 straight. They've struggled on the road recently. They're coming off their first win of the season. Tampa Bay's coming off a really bad game. You would think this is a Tampa spot. My only concern, the injury issues with Tampa. They're ravaged, especially on the defense with injuries. I feel like the Eagles, their receiving core is injured as well. But this to me just feels like a Saquon Barkley game. I think Saquon Barkley could run wild on this team. Vita Vea is still injured. Don't know if he's going to play. Big injury game. I'm going against all the trend lines. I probably should be going with Tampa here, but I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles on the road in the playoff revenge spot. I have a feeling the Eagles get it done. I think they run the ball a lot here. And I think we saw last week that the injuries affected Tampa's defense. I mean, Denver moved the ball at will. If Denver could do it, I think the Eagles are going to find a way too. I'll go with the Eagles here.
Saquon Barkley. That's your player for the week. Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts. Interesting thought, though, for you. God, this is very tempting. Listen to this line movement. Not so much on the spread, but over-under on the total. The total had opened at 47 back on September 19th, 47.5. It is now down all the way to 42.5. I love this under here. I love the under, or sorry, not the under, the over spot, excuse me. Because I could see
this could be an over the week play.
I wouldn't fault you. I mean, Tampa Bay got embarrassed by Denver's defense, who really stopped them. But Philly's defense, I think C.J. Gardner-Johnson is hurt still, or is he back yet? But I know the Eagles have injuries too on defense. And even then, they really didn't. I don't think they really looked good against the Saints. Derek Carr just kind of sucked. And I think Baker Mayfield's looking for a good bounce back spot on offense. I could just see a lot of points going up in this game. I know Philly has the offensive concerns, but the question is, can you stop Saquon? I don't know if the Bucs can do that yet. So for me, it's an
Bucs defense. If they play the way they did last week, the Eagles are going to cook them.
Yeah, and I mean, in terms of line movement, I mean, the highest I've seen it was 3. But mainly it's been 2.5, 2, and now it's 1.5 and a pick'em. So I think the sharp angle here is to take Philly, and really that's all I got. I'm not feeling strong one way or the other in this game. Philly is a road favorite.
That one, but I guess the injury to Devonta Smith maybe moved the line a little bit.
The concussion and being spit in the face by the opponent, not a good look. But, Tampa is a home dog, 2-2 straight up in ATS since Baker Mayfield came in. It's coin toss, and I'm getting coin toss odds. I don't know if I want to bet that. Really, that's what it comes down to for me. The numbers and the trends for Tampa, it really doesn't make me gung-ho about betting them. The Eagles, they may not be gung-ho either, but if they're a favorite for a reason and the line movement has gone in favor of betting on them, I'm going to try and be cute and bet on that side. So, yeah, Eagles -1.5, Eagles to beat the Bucs. Bucs might not be as we think, too. That's another side.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Maybe. I mean, think about it. They beat the Commanders week 1. They beat Detroit in a game where they lost the stats. You can make the case Tampa isn't as good as we think. I think that's a fair take.
Yeah, I mean and Philly, I know that's all they've been talking about is Philly not as good, but they lost AJ Brown after week 1. They lost Devonta Smith after week 3. Week 2 was a weird fluky Monday Night Football game with Kirk Cousins, who I think is still somewhat decent enough to get a win like that, Not saying Kirk Cousins will win a Super Bowl, but if you have a Minnesota Vikings or an Atlanta Falcons team, you throw Kirk Cousins in, you're going to be fine. This is another Kirk Cousins type game for the Eagles, where I think this time around they're going to get the win.
Yeah,
probably the smartest thing I've said regarding that game. All right, last 1:00 game. It's the one with the second biggest spread on the 1:00 slate. The Jacksonville Jaguars, 6.5-point road underdogs, plus 210 on the money line. They're traveling to Houston against C.J. Stroud, Stephon Diggs, and the Houston Texans. Minus 255 money line for them. Over under is 44.5 points. Yikes. Okay. don't know how you're going to feel about this one, Monty Mansman. I think I'm going to take a page out of your old man's book, a.k.a., as the SGPN podcast puts it, the Close Your Eye special.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Okay.
Team coming off of a big loss, and especially in primetime. Coming back as a big underdog, catching points. I'm not as afraid of the number like most sharps are, though. Like, a lot of sharps want the 7.5 that I've heard. I don't know if the 6.5 really makes a difference here. I actually would be more concerned if it was 5.5, 6. 6.5 and up, I'm okay. This Houston Texans team has not been good this year. Or if they have been good, they haven't really been productive, as one would think. That is my major concern in this matchup. Week 1, they had to play catch up against the Indianapolis Colts. They were never really in a big lead that game.
And how
they were
the
playing
Colts
catch up.
look since that game? Not very good.
Dog shit. The Bears, Sunday Night Football. Not that, the Bears stood a chance and the Texans really held on, but 6 points. They failed to cover that game. They were 6.5 points favorites then. Caleb Williams literally did nothing on offense in that game. And I'm going to double check because I don't want to say anything that's not true. That's right. 174 yards and 2 picks. So, yeah, he didn't do anything on the fucking team. Yeah, I think I can safely say that. And then the week after, they were what? Let me double check. Because, again, I want to make sure I'm right.
Yeah, they were favorites against Minnesota.
That's right. They were fucking favorites against the Vikings and got their asses kicked.
Yeah, they got dog walked last week.
They got dog walked, bite the curb, say my name, you little bitch. Yeah, that's what happened. And that's exactly what happened to the Jacksonville Jaguars, too. God, I just... It sucks because both teams did get dog walked last week, but the Close Your Eye special, you take the dog if they're catching points. The flow chart, too, it used to be that the Texans owned the Jags, but it's kind of flipped. Jags now kind of beat the Texans in Houston lately. Yeah. 2 in a row they've done.
Yep.
And, yeah, I'm not sold on the Texans right now. They're not in sync. It's and I'm not going to say it's Stephon Diggs. I'm not going to say it's Joe Mixon, but they're not the same producive offense that we've been used to on this Texans team. They've really regressed as far as points go. So I would bet team total under in that game for the Texans. And I think right now the Jacksonville Jaguars, Dougie P, they have their back against the wall. They just got dog walked by Buffalo in Buffalo. They now have to go back-to-back road spots, and they're kind of pissed off. They're going to be desperate, and the Texans' defense really hasn't been... I don't think they've really faced anyone spectacular other than Minnesota, and look what happened. This just looks like prime bounce-back spot.
This will give you an idea. Score differential for Houston, -19. And they're still rated top 10 team in a lot of power rankings. They haven't played like that through the first 3 weeks. You're 100% right about the flow chart. Jacksonville has been very good going to Houston, seem to have their number. And I don't know, this just seems like a Jacksonville desperation spot to me. Close Your Eye special. Houston struggled. It's a division road dog once again. I don't know. I could see this being a 4-point game, 5-point game, Jacksonville keeping it close. So I'm shocked because I thought this one we might have different. I thought I was being pretty sharp picking Jacksonville, but you're right there with me. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jags here.
No shit, really. You're gonna go Jacksonsville.
I'm gonna go Jacksonville. Trust me, that's crazy because Buffalo whipped them up and down the field on Monday, on Monday. But no, I'm not sold on this Houston team, and I think some of the power rankings people haven't adjusted their rankings enough as of yet.
No, I don't think they have either. I do not think they have either. I think this Houston Texans team is a very fraudulent Power 10 team. All right, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're traveling to the San Francisco 49ers, 10.5 point home favorite, minus 590, hosting the New England Patriots. Plus 440 on the money line for them. Over under is 40.5. Money Mansman, what are we doing with this game? This is another. It looks like another injury game to me, but you correct me if I'm wrong. You tell me what's going on here.
Oh boy. Yeah, this is just this is a New England team that got slapped Thursday night and a San Francisco team that just came off a bad loss, and it just feels like, I don't want to say an overreaction spot, but it really feels like an overreaction spot where the obvious play is San Francisco just winning by a lot. I really don't want any part of this game, to tell you the truth. I'd honestly be tempted to pick New England just because I don't know if New England was as good as when they beat Cincinnati, especially considering Cincinnati has really struggled and New England's dealing with a ton of injuries. But then again, like, so is San Francisco. I want no part of this game. I have a feeling this is one of those where a really sharp player would bet New England and lose by 30. Like, I feel like this is a game where you could look really stupid. But I don't know, man. I don't know if at this point with the injuries at 1 and 2, if I want to bet this Niners team to cover a 10-point spread, even against the New England team that probably isn't very good.
Yeah, in our show, we say it's this or nothing. This is the San Francisco or nothing play. Like you can't justify a New England plus 10.5 here. That's what it comes down to in this show. Can you justify the other side? I can't justify it. Even when Jacoby Brissett was doing decent, I would not have bet him in this spot week 3. I would not have bet him in this spot week 2 after beating Cincinnati, and I sure shit wouldn't have done it in the preseason. So with that logic, it's San Francisco or nothing. Line movement too, it has jumped, but it's actually come back in the way of being with San Francisco. Opened at 9, got as high as 11.5. We're now looking at 10 in some books, 9 in another.
10.5 contest.
We're a 10.5 contest, but I think it, like, to me, we're meeting in the middle. I think we're okay. Like, and speaking of those injuries, looks like Deebo Samuel questionable, George Kittle questionable. I don't know if this is the game they come back per se, but I think they would. Christian McCaffrey is still out, but as we've seen, Jordan Mason is still fucking serviceable. He's still doing good at a running back. We found out Brandon Ayuk, not the fucking guy, but they have a Juwan Jennings who could fucking ball and scrub out.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have no problem betting the San Francisco team here in this spot, especially with them. You know what? And let me pull the stats real quick because I'm surprised neither of us have brought this up. I actually was going to withhold it, but I just wanted to see if that was going to come up to begin with. 49ers as home favorites since 2023 is, come on, and there goes my internet. I'm kidding. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 3 straight up.
Patriots are not good as underdogs against the NFC either. 8 straight losses as underdogs. 6 straight failed covers against the NFC. I really want to be sharp and make the hero call here. But I think you're right. I think New England probably just gets waxed in this game. I guess I'll have to pick San Fran in the contest.
Yeah, okay, I'll be fair. 1-0 as a home favorite against the AFC. 1-0 as a home favorite this year. But if you do go back to last year, you have to remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 failed covers as home favorites for the Niners. Remember how the Niners used to be like a home favorite and it was like you couldn't bet them on the spread, but You could bet the money line they were going to win.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Like, this is the kind of line where last year you really thought about it, but I think this year, and just given the spot, don't be a pussy. Back the Niners.
I'm not going to bet it, but I could.
Do it for not. I'm doing it. I'm betting it. I'm doing
you're probably right. New England's probably going to lose by 30. This could be Drake May at halftime.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is Drake May.
Maybe Niners first half. That might be the play.
Ooh, you know what? I'm glad you said that. I'm really glad you said that.
That's going to be 5.5, maybe 6.5.
Probably 8.5, 7.5.
No.
I think 7.5 at best.
No way.
6.5. 6.5. Lock.
Yeah, I'd probably take that over the game.
There we go. There we go. First half bet. First half bet of the week. Niners minus 6.5.
There you go. We're probably gonna get it.
There we go. All right. Oh, I never mentioned this too. 3 of my 4 bets on the Dallas Giants game hit, so I'm up 3 units for the week.
Look at you. Good start. I am not off to a good start.
That's okay. We take those 3 units and we re-roll them. All right. Okay. All right. I'm actually very intrigued to get your thoughts on this next game. It is the Arizona Cardinals, the 2. Am I getting this right? No, I'm not. It's the 1-2 Cardinals hosting the 2-1 Washington Commanders. The Commies are 3.5-point road underdogs, plus 156. The Cardinals minus 186 in the money line. Highest over-under total on the week. Over-under is 49.5 points. 4 o'clock game in Arizona. Cardinals are a home favorite. Okay. I am first. I had a weird time with this game. Oh, God. This never does me well. Time to fade the Sharps. I am fading Arizona in this spot.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Washington is coming off that huge Monday Night Football win. Where winning teams are 0-2 straight up in ATS the week after. I know Arizona is supposedly looking somewhat competitive this year. I just disagree with that, and I think they're one of the more fraudulent teams this year that are getting a lot of love right now. The reason for that is I just think their offense is very inconsistent. And I am concerned at this over-under total, too, at 49.5 being the highest one. Because theoretically, you think Arizona threw up how much against the Rams? They threw up how much against the Buffalo Bills? Well, no offense, the Bills was a fraudulent number because they got the special teams return for a touchdown. And they got shut the fuck down in the second half. Week 2, the Rams were so injury-riddled, they literally threw that game away. Week 3, they hosted Detroit. They put up a measly 13 points. And that's my problem here. Washington, on the other hand, I watched them. Their defense has been horrendous. They went up against the Cincinnati Bengals offense, who they're usually productive to begin with. They usually drive the ball down regardless of who the team is. And a funny stat I heard about the Bills, who we're going to get to later, the Bills have not lost a game by more than 3 or 4 points since the Bengals playoff loss. So the Bengals with Joe Burrow are one of those teams that just, it doesn't matter. If they want to drive the ball down, they're going to find a way to do it. That's my thing. But the more I watch the Commies and, the Commanders, they do kind of seem like a rowdy team that's getting it together and slowly sinking. I mean, forgetting the Jaden Daniels touchdowns, forgetting the fact that the Bengals suck. Some of the plays they called it just looked like it was working. It just looked like the receivers were in sync. They knew where they needed to be. It looked like Jaden Daniels knew where he had to throw the ball. I mean, the fucking late touchdown in the fourth to Terry McLaurin, right in the breadbasket. There's things you can't coach.
Yeah, that was a hell of a throw. Couple of throws, hell of a throw.
Yeah, and I just think that, like, last Monday Night Football, like, I'm not going to overreact to it too much, but the Commanders are slowly looking better than I had anticipated. Jaden Daniels looks like a better rookie quarterback than, I don't know, Anthony Richardson, Caleb Williams. He's honestly, debatably looked better than Bo Nix. Bo Nix has had one good game. Jaden Daniels, I mean, let's be honest, same thing, but progressively has gotten better, as is Bo Nix. But we're going to see how long they can keep it up. Kyler Murray is getting the class relief on defense compared to Detroit, but Cardinals 3-7 ATS is home favorites.
Defense is a lot worse than the Lions defense, that's for sure.
100%. But the Cardinals situationally, 3-7 ATS is home favorites in their last 10. They're 4-11 straight up against the Washington Football Socialist Republic since 2000. I just can't back the Cardinals yet. Like, I think all the Sharps want the Cardinals to be like their fate of the week darling, but I'm not there, man. I can't do it. If Washington's catching points, I can't do it. Not a 3.5. Maybe if it was close to a pick'em, I'd like really think, but God, it just seems like a trap line to take the Cardinals here. It really does. I can't do it.
It's funny you said fate of the week. I never thought I would do this. Fade of the week. Give me the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray over the most overrated team in football, the Washington Commanders. So the Commanders beat a scrub Bengals team that lost to New England. It's 0-3. And now Washington's good. This is an absolute crush fade spot. Arizona, 11 straight covers against the NFC East. Do you remember that stat? You forgot that.
I did forget that stat. I did.
This Washington defense is one of the worst in the NFL. They got scorched for 33 points last week. They should have lost to the Giants, except the Giants didn't have a kicker. They gave up 37 to Tampa.
To be fair, I would say 7 of those points against the Bengals was garbage time because they had such a big lead. So it was a lot of kill clock and contain. But I get it.
I'm telling you, Arizona lost to Detroit last week. Detroit's a good team. Washington, I don't think, is a very good team. I think they're getting way, way overhyped because of what happened last year. They were, to give you an idea, ESPN Power Ratings, they were 27th last week. They're 19th this week. They went up 8 spots.
Okay,
they went up 8 spots after beating. I mean, but that's what that's what this line feels like. It feels like a complete and utter overreaction off of one game in prime time. There's no reason. To give you an idea, 4 days ago, 5.5 the Cardinals were favorite. We're now down to 3.5 points. The Cardinals are the play here. This is my fade of the week. It's time to fade this overrated Washington team. And don't get me wrong, I like Jaden Daniels. I like Washington. But they're getting way, way too much love in the marketplace.
So the line movement I'm seeing, like you said, 5.5. I'm seeing 2 at the bare open. Now, mind you, that was like preseason, but
a week ago it was 4. It went up to 5 4 days ago, and now it's down to 3.5. I mean, I don't think there's any big injury news in this game.
Yeah, literally 4 days ago it was at 5.5. Then it dropped to 3, and now we're back to 3.5. I mean, sometimes market adjustment makes sense. Like, this is one of those things to me, and this is like, don't get me wrong. I literally gave a handicap a minute ago about market adjustment and how like the line has moved too much to where it makes sense. This to me is like a market adjustment where like if you follow and see what happens, it's like, okay, maybe this makes sense.
I kind of think it's phony though, because I think Cincinnati is still being ranked by some people way too high.
Well, I mean, both could be true.
I think Cincinnati was ranked higher than they should have been. And that Washington beating them, they got more recognition than they deserved.
Yeah, I mean, that again, fair. I really like the way Washington looked, though. Like, it didn't seem like a phony win with Washington. It didn't seem phony. It seemed like they did what they had to do. They looked like they were in sync. It looked like
I won't call it a game.
Dan Quinn looked like he knew what he was doing at coach for once. It was refreshing, especially if you're a Commanders fan, probably refreshing to see. But yeah, and now look, do they repeat it? I don't know. It's a rookie quarterback, but I mean, also you forget Cliff Kingsbury revenge spot. Cliff Kingsbury, offensive coordinator for the Commies, he's going to Arizona.
Good luck.
I mean, yeah, okay.
It's a Nathaniel Hackett revenge spot. How do we not talk about that for the Denver game?
Because Nathaniel Hackett's a scrub. He's no good.
Really? Rodgers is going to put up 30 just to show how good Hackett not. Is. I actually like my handicap even better now.
Oh, God damn it. Nathaniel Hackett, all of a sudden he's a good offensive coordinator. Like,
well, let's not go that far.
Because Aaron Rodgers is there. He's a good coordinator.
Yeah, he's good.
Like, Rodgers isn't fucking changing the play.
Yeah. Watching Aaron Rodgers run the offense, that's what he's good at. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the fucking problem. Like, and can Denver figure it out? Maybe. We'll find out. All right, here we go. 4:30, Kansas City Chiefs travel to the Los Angeles Chargers. They're now 7-point road favorites, minus 375. Chargers are 3-1 underdogs at home. 39.5 points is the total. Chiefs are somehow... God, am I looking at this right? Are they 3-0 ATS? There's no way. No, that can't be right. Let me see.
No, they didn't cover the Cincy game.
They did not, no.
2-1 ATS.
2-1 ATS, but they're 3-0 straight up. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. All right. I guess I'll keep. It's your turn. Go.
Yeah, I get to go. Yahoo.
Woohoo.
I don't.
Tell me why the Chargers are a good sign, Jason. Go ahead.
No, I'm not. Because another one where, again, this game was up to like 8.5, and it kind of made sense when it was at 8.5. And now the line's going down because, guess what? Justin Herbert might play. How did he look last week? Remember when he got injured and got out again? Like, I don't understand why are they even, this to me almost feels like a free roll game because I feel like Herbert's not going to play. The Chargers have a bye week next week. Justin Herbert's clearly limited historically, and they were even talking about it like before the game. Justin Herbert does not have a good track record when he's like injured going into the game. He hasn't been good in those games.
You mean like last week when he played Pittsburgh? Like,
the crazy thing is he had a good start to the game, but then he got hurt. And I can see that happening again this week.
I mean, even if you want to say he had a good start, was Pittsburgh just keeping up? I mean, because that's all they do. Pittsburgh keeps up.
I don't know. I just, I really, I wouldn't bet the Chargers at +7, +7.5. No. To me, the Chiefs are the only play here, because Herbert, I think could get injured again, and I think this line's close to 10 if they got a backup quarterback. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs here, and the Chiefs' defense is geared to stop the run. They're actually better at doing that for the most part. They're 13th against the run, 28th against the pass. So this game favors them because the Chargers want to run the ball. So I think this game favors the Chiefs. I play the Chiefs here.
Yeah, speaking of the Chargers injury report, starting offensive tackle Joe Alt did not practice, questionable game time decision. Joey Bosa out for the game. Junior Colson, linebacker, out. Khalil Mack back to a full practice, but he was injured. Rashawn Slater, tackle, out.
Yeah.
That starting offensive line is looking injured.
Yeah.
This is a Chiefs defense.
Joshua Palmer and DJ Shark also battling injuries.
This is a Chiefs defense game. This is a dead under game if I've ever seen one in my life. This really should have been my under of the week. I just happen to love the Pittsburgh Colts game even more, so I went with that. My other problem, too, is 39.5. Is this the game the Chiefs pop off? Is this the game Travis Kelce pops off and gets 3 touchdowns and makes it up in fantasy for the lack of production for the past three fucking weeks? Don't know about that, but remains to be seen. Here's the line, or sorry, I had the line movement. That was the Commanders game. Look, Chargers are injured. I doubt Justin Herbert starts, but if Jim Harbaugh is dumb enough to do it before a bye week, then he's a dumber coach than I thought he was to begin with. Andy Reid, much better at playing these situations than I would give a Jim Harbaugh. And not to mention, too, Jim Harbaugh in, like, rivalry games, if anybody remembers in college, Jim Harbaugh was a loser against Ohio State for the longest time until he literally was fucking cheating and stealing signs, which, that's a debate in and of itself. I understand. Jason, you're a big baseball player. Stealing signs, big debate, but you get caught. You got caught.
What's the old saying? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Exactly. You're 100% right. But, didn't win against Ohio State, struggled against Penn State in the college days. Remember when he was in San Francisco, he struggled against the fucking Seattle Seahawks? He would struggle against Sean McVay and the Rams. I mean...
Yeah. Oh, listen to this, by the way. Chiefs first half -3.5.
You're kidding me. That's a joke.
I guess if Herbert plays... God, I hope Herbert... If Herbert plays and this line goes down, I'm smashed. Chiefs will become my best bet. They're not now. Chiefs will become my best bet. If Herbert plays... The line goes down to 6.
I did have Chiefs as my best bet originally, but I think the line got... Once it passed 7, it was too much for me, where I was comfortable making it a best bet, but you're 100... God, like, a lot of the things you said... Now, again, division road teams, they have not been good. ATS, 1-8 so far this season. That's a big concern. This is a big number. That's a big concern. But... I just don't know what the fuck this Chargers team is going to be able to do to keep up. Like, really, the only thing you have to think of is that Mahomes and the offense is going to struggle once again.
Yeah.
And they could, but...
Sometimes those trends, too, you got to be careful. I feel like it depends on the division road team.
Yeah, this is the week where, like, you're getting rivalry matchups, but you're getting, like, weird divisional spots like this one where Justin Herbert's injured. There's no Austin Eckler this time around. It's J.K. Dobbins. And this Chiefs defense has really been the reason they're winning games. It's probably going to be the reason they win again. And that, like, my handicap, it's going to be a dead under, but Chiefs defense shines here. And I think Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce shine, but not really in fantasy terms. They're just going to look like they're back in sync. The Swifties are going to be there. Taylor Swift will probably be in attendance in L.A., She'll probably waste millions of gallons of fucking jet fuel to get there, but like, it's set up for that kind of shit. Like,
I just think the Chargers are too injured for this to be a touchdown. I mean, they're beat up. I think they need the bye week more than any team in football. They need a bye.
I agree. Any thoughts on the under 39.5, or are we moving on?
Oh boy. I'd be... God, I feel like this could be a sneaky over because I feel like this could get a little ugly late. Maybe Although I did hear a handicap that like Reed respects Harbaugh and may not run up the score. So maybe this would be an under game. I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm kind of neutral on it.
So Mansman, on FanDuel right now, it's Chiefs minus 4.5 at plus 100. What are your thoughts?
Boy, oh boy. I could see the Chiefs getting off to a good start. I think the Chargers have lost like 5 or 6 straight first halves against the AFC at home. So they haven't been very good at home against the AFC in the first half. I'd probably... That's tough. I'd probably lean that way because I feel like the Chargers are going to want to try and run the ball, and with that beat up offensive line, could be a lot of time of possession for the Chiefs early on in the game. And then maybe the Chiefs put their foot off the gas in the second half.
Let's see what the Chiefs are. Wow, that's shocking. Chiefs are only 1-2 first half this season.
Oh, interesting.
Bears 0-3. Only 3 teams are undefeated in the first half this year in first half spreads, according to EV Analytics. Packers, Vikings, Saints. God, that could be an interesting play. Saints first half, Falcons to win. That could be a fun uncorrelated parlay.
Oh yeah, maybe the Saints will give it up late again.
Could be. Last 3 teams: Chicago, LA Rams, Dolphins, Philadelphia Eagles. 0-3 first half.
Yeah.
So yeah, check out evanalytics.com if you want some interesting half spreads, quarter spreads. That's usually where those metrics I get them from.
Oh, that's cool. I gotta try that.
Yeah, man. All right. Lastly, 4:30, we have the fucking Cleveland Browns and the misogynist himself, Deshaun Watson, traveling to the Las Vegas Raiders, aka Sin City, in what's essentially a pick-em matchup. The Raiders are the home underdog, though.
Not
Raiders
anymore. The line is moving with Max Crosby being out. There was a bit of a line move. It actually flipped.
I have Raiders still as a home underdog.
It flipped from like 11 hours ago on DraftKings. They were a 2-point favorite. Now they're a 2-point dog.
Fair enough. FanDuel odds say 1.5 point underdog for the Raiders, plus 114. Browns minus 134. Road favorites. Over under is 36.5.
I think it's you this time, right?
Sure. Here's my handy. All right, sorry. Here we go. This is my handicap. You ready, folks? Browns, I guess. I guess Browns. I guess the Browns. 4-0 is road favorites ATS since 2023. I don't know which quarterback was in those games. 11-5 ATS after a loss since 2022. Again, I don't know what fucking quarterback was there. The Raiders just lost to Carolina. The Raiders just lost to Andy Dalton off the couch. The Raiders lost to Carolina. The Raiders have beaten Cleveland 4 times in a row with Derek Carr at quarterback. Gardner Minshew is 4-4 against the AFC North as a starter. Those 4 wins were against Pittsburgh and Baltimore. He got benched last week against Andy Dalton. The Raiders are 1-4-1 ATS as home underdogs since Derek Carr left. I guess Cleveland. That's my handicap. I got nothing else. I don't want to support Cleveland. I can't do it. But I mean,
I'm surprised
I guess Cleveland
still at 36.5. Like, this feels like an over game for me. Cleveland on the road always seems to go over. The Raiders have injuries to their defense. Both teams have a lot of injuries. Like, I feel like this is a dead over game to me. This is.
I agree 100%.
I really do it over the week.
Let's do it. I love it.
Over the week, Cleveland Browns, Vegas Raiders. That's how you want to play this game. Like, in terms
Play
of the
the
spread, on the contest, we're getting Cleveland plus a half point. So there you go.
Stop. No. Cleveland.
Yeah, so, I mean, on the contest, you kind of got to go with Cleveland. I told you last week, if Aiden O'Connell was playing, I'd be all over the Raiders. It's Gardner Minshew, no interest. No interest in Minshew. He holds on to the ball too long. The Raiders' offensive line isn't that good. They can't run the ball. I want Aiden O'Connell. I hope Gardner Minshew sucks, so at halftime I could get me Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, I'm. And
My Raiders 6.5 bet needs that.
The team dynamic in the Raiders organization is falling apart under Antonio Pierce. I hate to say it. I was hoping he would succeed, but looks like Devontae Adams is still fucking miserable.
Oh, yeah, he's got a hamstring injury now, so he's not going to play.
And apparently there was hot mics going around with Antonio Pierce basically saying, if you weren't making as much money, I would have fucking cut you. Like, apparently... And I don't know who, but there's rumors that it was one of the cornerbacks for the Raiders with the lack of effort he was showing against the Panthers. There was a lot of speculation as to who he was saying that to. Could have been Devontae Adams, but it just looks like the Raiders' bullshit is starting to fall apart.
Look, this might be the year, buddy. You might finally beat the Vegas Raiders. You might finally.
It could. Honest to God, I really do think this could, especially depending on how they perform against Deshaun Watson. This could be the year.
Well, I'm telling you, it's one of those things. The losses, the losing exposes it, and winning is the best deodorant. So we'll see. But yeah, I think this is Cleveland's game to lose here.
So I got to give credit to SGPN for this, but they gave out apparently there was a rankings for QBR for dropbacks for all of Cleveland starting quarterbacks since I want to say it was 2000. Deshaun Watson was dead last.
Oh no. Come on, that's not possible.
Tim Couch, Johnny Manziel.
Oh my God, that's horrible. What the fuck?
I could go on. Baker Mayfield twice had higher QBRs in the dropback than Watson.
Jesus Christ. You gotta be kidding.
That's how bad he is. But yeah. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm gonna take a chance on Deshaun Watson. I don't know if I'm gonna bet it yet. Maybe I'll wait till the closer to the 4 o'clock games, see how much I've won up until then, but God, it just looks like an ugly game. I don't know if I want any parts of it other than the over. I actually, you know what? I think I might hit that now while we're live.
Yeah, I think that's a great over.
Yeah, I think we're going to do that here. All right, finally, we're into the Sunday Night Football game. Jason Money Mansman's Buffalo Bills catching 2.5 points. They're plus 124 road underdog Sunday Night Football. Sorry, I lied. They're down to plus 116. Traveling to Baltimore, Maryland, M&T Bank Stadium, 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Minus 136 for the Ravens, minus 2.5. Both are at minus 110. Over-under is 46.5 points. I can go first if you want me to, or if you want to go first, it is your team. I will give you the honors.
I think it's my turn, right? You went first last time.
Yeah, I did. So, yeah, your team, your honors.
Ladies and gentlemen of the supposed jury, this is Chewbacca. Chewbacca is an 8-foot tall Wookiee. Why would he live Endor?
Why would he live on Endor?
With a bunch of 2-foot tall Ewoks. I'll tell you why. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Chewbacca does not make sense. You must acquit. Or in this case, if Chewbacca does not make sense, you must make the Buffalo Bills your dog of the week.
Yeah.
Why? There you go. Why are the Bills catching points in this game? Okay, Lamar Jackson's good in prime time. Have we seen these two teams play? First off, the Bills very good against Baltimore. very good against Lamar Jackson. In 2019, when Baltimore was running roughshod over everyone, they lost by 7. Divisional round, 17-3 Bills. They beat Baltimore as a 3.5. They beat Baltimore in Baltimore 2 years ago. They are very good at containing Lamar Jackson. And this Bills team is playing really well. And this Baltimore team is 32nd against the pass. The weather looks like it's going to be, okay. It's not going to be great weather, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a monsoon either. I don't know. To me, I don't get why the Ravens are a favorite in this game. The way the Bills are playing, they're looking really, really good. Buffalo, their injury situation's pretty much the same. Josh Allen's good to go. Their secondary has been good. I think they'll do enough to contain the run. I like the Bills here. I think they keep rolling. They're going to be up for this game. They don't like Baltimore. Baltimore doesn't like them. But I see no reason not to back the Bills catching points on the road here.
So if you remember in our recap episode, I bet the Bills. I bet them as money line. I bet them at 2.5. Why did I do this money management? I'll tell you why. I thought the line would move. I thought, come payday, today, this line would move closer to a pick'em. This line has not moved one fucking bit. The money line is literally still plus 116. The same number I bet it on Wednesday. The spread is still 2.5. The same number I bet it on Wednesday. Which means if there are people hammering the Bills like I was, and the books have not moved this line one bit, they know getting close to a pick'em, dummies are going to be all over Baltimore. And I don't know if this is the sharp logic, but I feel like I'm on the right side here. This is a Buffalo smash spot. Smashed it on Wednesday. I would smash it again, honestly, if I had the choice. I could not make this any of my best bets. Unlike the last time I went to a Buffalo Bills game and I made the Bills my fade of the week. Couldn't do it this time around. There's millions of concerns I actually do believe for the Bills in this spot. The Ravens on Sunday Night Football, primetime Lamar. It is a thing. You don't want to admit it. I know the Bills have had great success against Lamar Jackson, primetime and not, but Lamar in primetime, especially Sunday Night Football, 5-0 since 2021. Their last loss, ironically enough, on Sunday Night Football was a primetime game in the playoffs against the Buffalo Bills.
I'm telling you, man, I don't think people are paying attention to the trends. Like, we have done the past 3 times we've played Baltimore, we've done very well against Lamar Jackson. Very well.
Yeah. And here's the other thing, too. Like, forgetting recency bias, like, watching these teams play, the Bills have never looked better. The Ravens have never looked worse. Justin Tucker cannot kick a field goal past 45 yards anymore. Lamar still can't throw the football. The Ravens can't even close out a game, let alone win as a favorite. Can they close the game and win? Like, if you forget week 1, they lost to the Chiefs in a game that they could have tied and came back from 4 inches away. Couldn't do it. In a game they're leading against the Raiders, let Gardner Minshew come back and win. In a game, week 3, against the Cowboys, where they had a big lead going into the 4th, let Dak Prescott drive and come back. And literally, it was 2 plays away from a whole different conversation we're about to have. And let's talk about that game. Let's hypothetically talk. If the Ravens gave up 2 2-point conversions and they lose 29-28, what is this spread?
Yeah.
Are the Ravens still a favorite at 0-3? No, they're not. There's no way. The market adjustment would have been too bad. I'm getting the Bills plus points here.
I mean, this team lost to the Raiders at home. They gave up 285 passing yards to Gardner Minshew. Like,
I mean,
you're
not
about
just
to play
that.
Josh Allen. Like, you're about to play Josh Allen.
I mean, Dallas, talking about Dallas, the team they just beat last week. Dallas struggled against Daniel Jones. And the Giants. The Ravens struggled in Jerry World against a fraudulent Cowboys team. What the fuck is this angle that Lamar should be this home favorite at all? That's where I'm curious about. This is just bad.
The Ravens defense, 32nd against the pass, 291 yards allowed per game. Like, did you just see what Josh did last week in primetime?
Yeah.
Like, there's a storm coming to M&T Bank Stadium.
Oh yeah, and by the way, the Ravens are going to do a blackout for the game. They know Buffalo fans travel well, right? Like, I even know this. As a not Ravens fan, I know that. I mean, Broncos fans travel well, but, like, the Bills have a reputation. This could be...
Is Bills Mafia going to take over the stadium?
It could very well be. I'm not... Especially
if the teams do seem to play close. Although, I don't know, man. If this Ravens defense gets torched, which could very well happen, I could see this being a blowout. Because here's the thing with the Ravens, they need to keep it close so they can keep running. If Josh could go just up and down the field, touchdown after touchdown, this team gets behind, they're screwed. This team gets behind, they're done.
Yeah, they're done and over with. I have under 46.5 here on this game total here because I just don't see the Bills defense, especially. They've looked pretty damn good lately. I am concerned that they're going to get caught here, but
I guess you might think under just if they run the ball a lot. Maybe it's just there's not enough time for possession.
Wait, now here's a correlated play. Buffalo to win under 46.5, but I have Derrick Henry anytime touchdown. 4 straight games against Buffalo he scored.
Oh, that's like a reverse correlation.
Yeah.
You'll probably get really good odds for that.
I'll let you know what those odds are, but I wanted to see. But yeah, 4 straight games Derrick Henry has scored against the Bills, albeit with the Tennessee Titans. The problem is, I think the Ravens have one path to success, and it is through Derrick Henry. The Bills' rush defense has actually looked pretty goddamn good lately, though.
Yeah, they've been okay, and they've been beating the piss out of teams so early. I mean, again, it's just going to come down to if you like the Ravens, you got to play them first half because if the Ravens get down, they're going to have to throw against this defense, and I think it could get ugly.
Listen to this.
Know Lamar is good for a couple turnovers, so.
All right, so listen to this. Bills money line under 46.5 total points. Derrick Henry anytime touchdown 8 plus 9 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
God, that looks tempting. I'm gonna think on that. That's.
But yeah, that's my dog of the week. And
dog of the week.
I think the Bills. I mean, I don't want to. I hate to come into a game too confident, but God, I could see the Bills just blasting this team.
All right.
Just because of the defense, this is a game where I just see them throwing, and if the Ravens can't stop it, I think they're screwed. So anyway, next game.
Last game.
From good to shit. We're going from good to shit here.
All right, Monday Night Football game number 1. It is the Miami Dolphins in a pick'em matchup against the Tennessee Titans, but somehow, some way, the Dolphins on a third-string quarterback. Don't know who that quarterback is yet. They are still a home favorite. Minus
quarterback for this week.
It is one of either Tim Boyle or Tyler Huntley. I am not making that up. It is Tim Boyle or Tyler Huntley.
It'd probably be Huntley, I would think.
You would think, but remains to be seen. Tennessee +1, -102. Dolphins -118, -1. It's a pick 'em matchup. 36.5 is the total. Ready? Here's my handicap. Fuck it, Tennessee. Just kidding. Miami. No, can't do it. I said last week, Tennessee's on auto fade. Can't bet them. 3 weeks in a row, they lose. 3 weeks in a row, they fail to cover. They're on the big bucks auto fade list.
Literally both 0-3 ATS. Fucking terrible.
Oh God, is this the first battle of the auto fades? It might be
the toilet bowl game.
Yeah, battle of the auto fades. God, I have to start tracking those metrics. Battle of auto fades. God, yeah, I initially wanted to take Tennessee, so I'm going to take them only because their starting quarterback is still there. That's it. That's literally
he's the equivalent of Tyler Huntley.
I guess. I mean, Tyler Huntley is a Pro Bowler. I mean, like there's that. I mean,
to the charts. Will Levis was going to be too.
And the problem is with this game, like I can't even really go off the trends or the history with these games because this is so bad. There's so many injuries, like worse than the Chargers game. It doesn't matter.
God, this is like a pure degenerate fucking game. Like,
and in degenerate games, I'm just God. I hate to do this. I'm betting against myself. One more time. If it's a battle of the auto fades, give me the Titans. I mean, I'm not proud. I hate it. But
what is it in the contest? They're basically a pick'em.
God. God. What do you do with this?
I don't know. No, you know what? Okay. Miami's defense, 12th in forcing turnovers. They do one a game. Titans offense, worst in the league with turnovers. Miami can't run the ball. Fuck me. All right. I'm going to go. I was going to go with discount Josh Allen. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know.
You know what? Let's go full DeGen. Let's cinerate on this. We'll just cinerate.
You out of your.
Let's do it. No,
what
let's
the
do
hell?
it.
Whatever. Fuck it.
Let's do it.
Let's go Miami. Fucking.
All right, Cinerator on the line, folks. Cinerator on the game.
Why? Who knows?
Money line, and we'll do money line. We're not even going to be cute with spreads. Let's just go money line.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with Miami. Maybe the Dolphins' defense could force a few turnovers. I don't know. There's no real reason. There's no real reason to bet either one of these teams. This game's terrible.
No, this is. Listen, we're not going to be one of these bettors that say this is an avoid game. But this is a game I'm waiting till Monday night to bet.
I don't even know. I for the life of me don't know what I'll bet for that. Over-under, who knows? Will Levis throw a pick. That's always a good one.
Oh God, I'll double back you on that one.
That's always a safe.
There we go. We're on the same page. Yeah, same page. Will Levis to throw an interception. We'll double bet that. That could be an interesting same game parlay just to see what happens. We each bet our team to win, but then throw Will Levis in to throw a pick.
It'll be good for yours. It won't be great for mine. Be correlated.
That's true. All right, last Monday night game. It's the Seattle Seahawks, 4.5-point road underdogs. They're traveling in plus 164. Is that correct? What? Why?
Oh, yeah, 4.5.
Yeah. Well, plus one. Oh, sorry. It looks like I'm just gonna go with DraftKings numbers because I don't know why shit keeps updating on me. But yeah, plus 3.5 for the fucking Seahawks. Plus 145 money line. Over under is 46. Lions minus 175 home favorites minus 3.5. Monday Night Football. Dan Campbell, Monday Night Football. The ghost of Geno Smith. Yeah. Ready for my handicap on this one?
Yeah.
Fuck it, Seahawks. Fuck it, Seahawks.
The trend lines are in favor.
Yeah, no, that's why. The Lions are 1-9 straight up in their last 10 against Seattle.
6 straight for Seattle against.
Yeah, remember last year we made this handicap and I was like, oh yeah, like, remember when we thought the Lions were a good pick and then I said the trends and Seattle won outright and they did? And then I went back to 2022 and I looked and I said, oh yeah, hey, remember the trends when I said like Seattle was really good against Detroit? And then they went outright in overtime in 2022. This is me again saying like, hey, remember the trends when like Detroit can't beat Seattle? It's a flowchart game. Seattle's getting points here. I've seen this twice as a handicapper. I can't change it. Seahawks are 1-8 straight up in their last 9 as road underdogs, though. They've covered 3 straight, so I think 3.5, 4.5 is the play. But I mean, Seahawks are a live dog. I can't make much sense of it otherwise. Detroit might be fraudulent. That's my take.
I think Seattle's so fraudulent.
They both are. They both
really want to fade. I really wanted to make this my best bet, but I'm remembering now. Literally, I was in the same fucking position. Fucking God. Okay, I just got to go with Detroit. I can't make it my best bet. I'm going to go with Detroit, but.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. I feel like I was in the same spot. It's like Groundhog Day for me. I remember I was in the same fucking spot and I picked Detroit. And
you know what? We'll double up because I have a feeling. Let's double up.
I don't want to incinerate this because
no. 3 in a row. If you lose on this, that's
right. I picked Seattle last time. I should remember this. I was the one. Oh, the flowchart game. I remember I picked Seattle.
Yeah, okay.
I remember I was like so sharp. It was like my one win that week. I don't know what Detroit this time. Whatever. Whatever.
It's fine.
Incinerate both Monday night. Who gives a fuck?
Oh, let's go. Double center. We'll have a double incinerator.
Oh my God.
Let's get real handicapped real quick. Let's give a real handicap.
Okay, here's my thinking with Detroit. Let me give a real handicap with Detroit. I just think Seattle, they played Denver week 1 with a rookie quarterback. Last week, they literally played a team with no quarterback. So they basically played, a 25% Bo Nix. They played a team with no quarterback last week. And God, I'm trying to remember who they beat the week before. Who the hell did they beat the week
They
before?
played the Patriots and they won in overtime.
Oh yeah, that's right. They beat New England in overtime. Really? Detroit to me has definitely got higher potential than that. I think Detroit's a better team. They're at home. They've been good at home. One of the best ATS teams in the league. I don't know. To me, it feels different because that flowchart game last year, it felt like Seattle was at its lowest and you were getting good value. This, I feel like the Seattle team is not good. And meanwhile, they're being overhyped, I feel like.
This sounds a lot like 2022. Seattle, at their lowest, it was week 2. They had beaten Nathaniel Hackett in week 1 in a 19-16 game. And they were like, wow, Seattle really isn't that good. Detroit looks great. Detroit should be favored. And then Seattle won in overtime. This is like the same narrative over and over again where it's like Seattle looks like shit. No offense, Seattle's 3-0. Seattle looks the worst they've ever looked. I disagree. I don't think this is the worst they've looked. I don't think they've played great competition, but they've won. They've covered. They covered against Denver, depending on what number you got, which is a debate. Admittedly, it is a debate because 5.5 they covered, 6.5 they didn't. New England, week 2, what was that line there? Let me pull that up real quick. Seattle, +3, or that was New England. So New England covered. So yeah, Seattle hasn't covered as favorites, but week 3, they were a favorite against Miami. They covered easily. But albeit that was not Tim Boyle. That was a fucking Skylar Thompson game. So yeah, I think this is a fair point to say that, Detroit is the hardest competition they had, but what's Detroit really done? They barely beat Kyler Murray in Arizona. The week before that, who did they play? Let's see. Who did they play? Tampa Bay. They lost outright to Baker Mayfield, 20-16. That was the game they got in the end zone 7 fucking times. Couldn't do a goddamn thing. And then Detroit against the Rams, that went to overtime. So I don't think that the Rams are that good of a team either. These teams, more to me, seem evenly matched than we really give them credit for. That's my take. So taking the Seahawks plus the points, that's my move. I don't know necessarily about Seahawks money line, although the trends would say to do that. But Seahawks plus 3.5, plus 4.5, that's a lock.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it's bold. I want to fade the Seahawks, so I'll stick with my initial. I'll stick with my initial guns and go that route. So
double Monday night Cinerators. This ought to be interesting.
Oh boy, this could be really bad.
All right. Well, I would say thanks. Krista's the best, but Monty Mansman has now kicked him out of the show. But thank you for anybody that does check out this video. Make sure you go make that motherfucking money. Make sure you follow us and like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notifications bell. Make sure you check us out on x.com/DeGents podcast. Make sure you enter our weekly contest for Moneyline and spreads. And the Big Bucks Beta Challenge is still alive, as our week 2 winner has not claimed his prize. So anybody that beats Money Mansman and I in the contest and is the number 1 winner, they get a free $50 bet on Big Bucks.
Yep. Definitely check out our videos. Unless you're a troll, in which case you will be gone. That's how it goes. That's how the game is played. So yeah. I want to go over real quick your best plays, and I'm going to put the contest up. Once we're
let's do it. I'll give out my best play. So, fade of the week. It looks like my fade of the week this week is going to be we're fading the Jets as 7-point home favorites. I'm going to take the Broncos plus 7. My over of the week, we're going over 47.5 points in the Cincinnati-Carolina game. My dog of the week is going to be the Los Angeles Rams plus 134. Best bet and under of the week is the Pittsburgh Steelers at Indianapolis Colts. We're going under 40.5 points in that game. Minus 2.5 points, Pittsburgh Steelers to beat the Colts. And Monty Mansman, your best bets.
Gotcha. So my dog of the week is going to be the Buffalo Bills Sunday Night Football against the Ravens at 2.5. My fade of the week, first time maybe ever on the show, Arizona Cardinals against the Washington Commanders. My best bet, I was thinking about making it on Detroit, but I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to do a double best bet with you. Love the Steelers minus the points in Indianapolis.
Wait. We got a double best bet.
Yeah, double best bet. Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, I think
we've done that. Okay, we've done this before. I don't know if you remember the last time this happened, but
was this the mortgage bet on Pittsburgh that we lost? Oh God,
that's all right. No, double best bet.
We got it this time.
And you're over under picks.
Yeah. Let me think. I'm trying to remember. I normally don't keep track of those, but my over is going to be Cleveland and Vegas over 36.5. And if I had to choose an underplay, I'm going to go with the under in the Minnesota Green Bay game, under 44 points. I think that could be a very low scoring game. Jordan Love, maybe he plays, maybe he doesn't if it's Malik Willis. Vikings defense has been good. Sam Darnold catching some bumps. Not my favorite play, but I go under there.
There you go.
I think my first half play would have to be Kansas City minus 3.5. If that's
the first half spread.
So right. That's it for me.
All right, and 2-player prop. I'll give you 3-player props here. Derrick Henry anytime touchdown. Aaron Jones anytime touchdown. Aaron Jones over rushing yards is also my big play. So those are my 3 there that I gave out. I got nothing left, Money Mansman. Any final words? Anything you think I missed? We have our
no. That's it. We got a big weekend coming up. So good luck to everyone out there, and that's all I got for you tonight.
Sounds good. As we always say, I'm Steve Big Bucks Beta.
Money Mansman signing off, and as always,
go make that motherfucking money, folks. You all have a good night. Be safe, and for all you trolls out there, good fun.